Thanks to its massive battery life upgrade, the JBL Encore 2 is a great box speaker to take on the go with you. It's small, but it's also very loud and it packs a lot of bass. However, it's not super durable, so you do have to baby it a little bit. So today we're going to see how the JBL Encore 2 compares to both the JBL Boombox 3 and the Sony ULT Field 7. These speakers are more durable and portable, plus the ULT Field 7 can also be used for karaoke. We're going to pricing. First off, there's the JBL Partybox Encore 2, which has two versions. Now, there's this version, the JBL Partybox Essential 2, which retails for $330, and this is the more common version. It's the easier to get version. And then there's the JBL Partybox Encore 2, which comes with two wireless mics. It has an extended light feature, and its battery is more easily removable. But this version retails for $400, and it's a lot harder to get for some reason. And I really think that this is very dumb on JBL's part. Nonetheless, in this video, we're going to be focusing on the JBL Partybox Encore Essential 2. And then there are both the JBL Boombox 3 and the Sony ULT Field 7, which have a retail price of $500, but the JBL Boombox 3 likes to go on sale for $400, and the Sony ULT Field 7 likes to go on sale for $350. Nonetheless, if you want to pick any of these speakers up, they'll be linked down below, or you can always press on the YouTube shopping button. And if you want to further support the channel, then you can always pick up some merch. So first, there's the design. Now, the JBL Encore 2 is a very small box speaker to begin with. It's half the size of the already small JBL Partybox 120. So taking the Encore 2 on the go with you is super easy, and it weighs in at 13 pounds. However, this speaker isn't super durable because it has a mostly plastic body and a thin middle grille on the front. So it can be scratched and dented very easily, and it's only rocking an IPX4 rating. So a little bit of water is going to be fine, but you still want to be careful. Whereas with these other two speakers, they both weigh in at the same as the Encore 2, but more importantly, they're a lot more durable because they both have a mostly fabric wrap body, and they're both a lot more waterproof as well. So with all of these speakers, they're great to take on the go with you, but with the Encore 2, you are going to have to be more careful. However, something the Encore 2 does have over these other two speakers is a good light feature. Now, if you were to get the more elusive Encore 2, then you're going to get additional light bars on the top and bottom like on the Partybox 120. But since this is the Essential, you don't. But more importantly, since this speaker does have Auracast, you can connect it to JBL's party lights and build out your light feature. And overall, this light feature looks really good with or without JBL's additional party lights. Now, I know the Sony ULT Field 7 has a built-in light feature as well, but since it is tucked away in the passive radiators and it is very hard to see, personally, I don't use this light feature and I just enjoy the improved battery life. Now, when it comes to battery life, the Encore 2 has an advertised battery life of 15 hours, but that's with the speaker playing at 50% volume and with the light feature turned off and with the bass boost feature turned off as well. Whereas both the JBL Boombox 3 and Sony ULT Field 7 are good for like 24 hours of playback time when they're both playing at 50% volume, and volume performance on these speakers is very similar to one another. And world-well use with all of these speakers playing at 80% volume, which I feel is a very good volume for when you're with friends, and with the light feature turned on the Encore 2 and with the bass boost feature turned on as well. The Encore 2 is good for around 7 hours of playback time, whereas both the JBL Boombox 3 and the Sony ULT Field 7 are good for like 8 to 9 hours of playback time. And to charge all of these speakers, they all charge via a double barrel AC port, and with all of these speakers, if you use them while they're plugged in, you are going to get a performance boost out of them. They're going to get louder and they're going to have more bass. But something that makes the Encore Essential 2 very special here is that you can access the battery and swap it out. Now, replacing the battery on the speaker isn't as easy like on either the Partybox 120 or the more elusive Encore 2, which have a spring door on the back, but at least with the Encore Essential 2, you can still replace it yourself, which is going to extend the overall life of your investment. Whereas with either the Boombox 3 or the Sony ULT Field 7, you can't as easily reach the battery. But also, the Encore 2 has a USB-C port, so you can use it to charge your own devices, which I feel is super convenient, and you can also use it as a wired connection. Now, you can also use both the Boombox 3 and the ULT Field 7 to charge your own devices, but they're still using a USB-A port, which I feel isn't as relevant or as convenient in 2025. And when it comes to Bluetooth connectivity, connectivity, all of these speakers can be connected to two devices at the same time, so you and a friend can both be DJ. Latency is not an issue for any of these speakers, so you can use them to watch videos with on your phone. And with all of these speakers, they still have an audio jack, so you can use them with a wired connection that way. And finally, both the Encore 2 and the Sony ULT Field 7 have a 3/4 inch input, so you can plug in a mic for karaoke, or you can plug in a guitar, but I think karaoke is more important. However, with the Encore 2, you can adjust the sound of your mic through JBL's app. Now, with both the Encore 2 and the ULT Field 7, they can only be used with one wired mic, or you can always get a wireless mic kit from either JBL or Sony, and this way you can get a total of 2 mics going for karaoke, and in general, karaoke is a lot of fun if you actually have friends. But wait, if you want to further support the channel, then check out our affiliate partner, Theragun, specifically the Theragun Prime Plus. Now, I've been using the Theragun Prime Plus for the last 4 months, and before that, I was using the Theragun Mini for over 3 years. Honestly, these Theraguns have changed my life. I use them at least 2 times a day. In the morning, they help loosen me up and improve my flexibility, so I can more easily move around my day much more comfortably, and they also help prevent injuries while at the gym. And at night, I like to use them before going to bed because I'm able to go to sleep feeling a lot more relaxed and less tense, and overall, the Theragun Prime Plus really helps alleviate soreness, and it helps speed up recovery thanks to the heated ball attachment, which not only gives your muscles a deep tissue massage, it also applies a lot of heat, which helps improve circulation. My Theragun Prime Plus is one of my most important pieces of tech in the house. It's literally up there with my phone. So if you want to try out the Theragun Prime Plus, use our link down below for an easy 30-day trial. Honestly, I can't recommend this product enough. But with all that out of the way, let's talk about sound. Regarding speaker setup, the Encore 2 has a single front-mid firing woofer with an exhaust port that shoots out the back, and it has a dual front-mid firing tweeters. Whereas the JBL Boombox 3 has a front-mid firing subwoofer with dual front-mid firing woofers, dual front-mid firing tweeters that are stacked on top of the woofers, and dual passive radiators that shoot out the sides. And this is a rather unique speaker setup. And then there's the Sony ULT Field 7, which has dual front-mid firing woofers, dual front-mid firing tweeters, and dual passive radiators that shoot at the sides, and this is a more common speaker setup. But now we're going to go ahead and jump into the sound test. All of these speakers are playing at 75% volume while unplugged.
How could I know it would be goodbye, my love? When did the close of forever come, my love? All I recall was a stare that was vacant and cold. Where did the spark go, the warmth that once stole my soul?
So when it comes to sound quality, I feel that both the Sony ULT Field 7 and the JBL Boombox 3 have a slightly better instrument separation than the Encore 2. They just sound a little more open. But I think the difference here is small. But what is very different is the bass. The Encore 2 just has a lot more kick and a lot more resonance in its bass than these other two speakers because of its larger woofer, and it has that exhaust port that shoots out the back. So the Encore 2 already has more bass than these other two speakers, but you can also amplify its bass by simply placing it up against a wall or in a corner, because this way the bass is going to have something to bounce off of. And then there's max volume performance. Now all of these speakers are good for like a 15-person party, and surprisingly all of these speakers get equally as loud as one another. And with all of these speakers, if you use them while they're plugged in, you are going to get a performance boost out of them. They're going to get a little louder and you're going to have more bass. But overall, the JBL Encore 2 is going to sound the fullest here simply because it has the most kick and resonance in its bass. However, both the JBL Boombox 3 and the Sony ULT Field 7 sound really good for their size and their added durability. But finally, let's talk about pairing these speakers up with other speakers. Now, with all of these speakers, if you have two of the exact same speakers, then you can wirelessly pair them together and get them to play in left or right stereo mode. However, they have to be two of the exact same speakers. You cannot use either of these speakers' predecessors. Now, the Sony ULT Field 7 is using Sony's Party Connect, so you can pair it up with Sony's other speakers that are also using Party Connect, like either another ULT Field 7 or an ULT Field 5 or an ULT Field 3, or to any of Sony's older speakers that are also using Party Connect, like an XG500, XG300, XE300, XE200, or to an XP43, XP33, or to an XP23. And you can also pair it up to any of Sony's larger box speakers that are also using Party Connect, like let's say an ULT Tower 10, ULT Tower 9, or an XV800, XV500, or an XP700, or XP500. Whereas the JBL Boombox 3 is using JBL's Party Boost, so you can pair it up to other speakers that are also using Party Boost, like another Boombox 3 or a Boombox 2, an Extreme 3, an Extreme 4, a Charge 5, a Pulse 5, a Pulse 4, a Flip 5, or a Flip 6, and that's it. Whereas the Encore 2 is using Auracast, so you can pair it up to JBL's other speakers that are also using Auracast, like let's say another Partybox Encore 2, or to a Partybox 120, 320, 520, or to a Partybox Ultimate. And you can also pair it up to any of JBL's smaller speakers that are also using Auracast, like a Charge 6, an Extreme 4, a Flip 7, Clip 5, or a Go 4. And you can also pair it up to any of JBL's older party boxes that are using TWS, like an original Encore or a Partybox 110, 310, or 710. So with the Encore 2, since the speaker is using Auracast, it's going to be more future-proof, because with the Boombox 3, since it's using Party Boost, it is considered last gen now, because you cannot connect an Encore 2 to a Boombox 3. But with all that being said, the JBL Partybox Encore 2 is a great option if you're looking for something small with a lot of bass. It gets very loud, it has a good looking light feature, it can be used for karaoke, and it has a built-in battery which should be able to keep up with you even on a hard day of full listening. Plus, it's using Auracast, so it can be more future-proof than the JBL Boombox 3. However, both the JBL Boombox 3 and the Sony ULT Field 7 also offer you a lot of sound in a small package, and they're a lot more durable as well. And if you're looking for something more durable, personally I do recommend the Sony ULT Field 7 over the JBL Boombox 3, because it does get a little louder and it does have a little more bass, and just like the JBL Partybox Encore 2, it can also be used for karaoke. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great, and you know I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something if I'm really proud of it.